So everybody has losing trades. I have losing trades. The people that you've read about, the market wizards, they have losing trades. Even the guy that poses with his Lamborghini, he has losing trades too. And it's important to remember that losses are a part of the process. But I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, Mike, how do I know when the losses are something that I'm just doing wrong or what? And I went through this too. A big part of figuring out whether the losses are you doing something wrong or if it's just this one trade is to follow the system, follow the plan. Well, whatever you planned out, right? And so this presumes that you have a plan. So hopefully you do have a plan. But if you don't, we'll talk about that as well. But if you follow the plan that you laid out, this is where I'm going to get in, this is where I'm going to get out, this is how much I'm going to risk, and you have that laid out, then if you go and you execute on that plan, then you could see, well, what didn't I think of? How could I have made that plan better? Was it the market conditions? Did I place my stops too far away? Did I not take profits when I should have? Did I not trail my stops? Did I let a big profit come back in and give up way too much? Like, well, what are some of the consistent themes? And the only way that you're going to figure out if it's one of those things or if it's something else is if you stick to the plan. So what does a good plan look like? Well, let me share with you some of what goes into my planning. So part of what goes into my planning is figuring out, well, what is the overall health of the market? If we're looking at the market, what's happening across the time frames? Are we in uptrends on monthly charts? Are we looking at weekly charts, and are those in uptrends? Are they moving sideways? What's going on there? If we're looking at daily charts, are those moving up, down, or sideways? And understanding that the market is kind of like the ocean, where if you see a big cruise liner coming by, right, like that cruise liner is going to make some waves as it's going along the water, right? And then you have some other people, like they're out there in, say, a speedboat, somebody else that's out there in a rowboat, and they're each making their waves too, but the cruise liner is going to be making much bigger waves, and it's going to have an effect on the smaller and smaller time frames. And so that's the mindset that we need to adopt. We need to take into account all those things. Then from there, part of what we need to think about is, well, what are the stocks on my watch list doing, right? Like, so hopefully you're cultivating a watch list of stocks that interest you for any reason at all, but you want to have a defined set of criteria for the stocks that you're going to be interested in, so that way you know, well, these stocks are, say, they're high growth stocks, and when they move, they tend to lead the market higher. Great, well, when I'm looking at these stocks and they're all setting up, then that's going to give me something to be like, you know what? Well, the market might be flattening out, the indexes might be flattening out, but the leading stocks that I'm interested in, those ones are starting to set up and they're starting to move. Maybe I should start to deploy a little bit more capital at this. All right, now we're starting to build this overall assessment of market mood. And so all that's going to go into your trading plan. Then you start to figure out, well, which of these ideas do I want to go with, right? And then you start to think about, well, here's an idea, here's how it's setting up. This might be where I'll look to enter. This will be where my stop loss is going to be, where will cut the loss short, right? Because we know that a big part of winning in the stock market is going to be to let winners run for as long as possible based on our system and the rules that we have, and to also cut the losses short, not just hold on something as it continues to go down and down and down and down. And that's how so many people blow up. So many traders blow up because they let that trade just keep on having loss after loss after loss, and they don't cut the loss, and then they're sitting with dead capital for years hoping that it comes back. Well, if you just simply cut that loss short, you could have taken that capital and redeployed it somewhere else where it would be more useful. So you want to follow the plan that you made. You have where you're going to get in, where you're going to cut your loss short, and then the last part of it too is figuring out where you're going to take profits and how you're going to take profits. You might come up with a profit target. Let's say you bought in at 100 and you think that this thing is going to go to 150. Fantastic. But most of the time, when we set these targets, most of the time it's not a smooth ride, right? So do we want to just say, all right, we're going to get in at 100. If it goes to 150, I'll take my profits. Or if it falls to 90, then I'll cut my loss and then that's it. Well, you're welcome to do that, but maybe a more effective plan would be to give the market multiple ways for it to pay you, right? So you might start thinking of taking profits along the way, selling into strength and figuring out ways to do that. You might think of ways to sell if price starts to lose a little bit of that upward momentum, right? So let's say price gets to 105, 110, 120, like real quick, and then all of a sudden it starts to come back in, like then it's like 119, 118, 115, 110. Like you gave back half of the profit that you made. Wouldn't you want to have some way to start locking in some of those profits along the way? You can figure out that too. So building all of those kinds of things into your plan and then tracking those trades and then seeing how you can improve your performance over time. That's the way that you're going to win. That's the way that when you do have these losses that you don't want to just pick up a chair and smash the screen, you're like a scientist. You're studying different trades. You're going to see what works, what didn't work. Oh, that one won. Okay, I'll journal that one too. That one lost. All right, journal that one. Well, what could I do that would improve the system so that way you could win more trades? That's the mindset that you need to go into this with. If you need any help, I'm glad to help you. Reach out anytime.